and down, counting out, smiling through the taste of blood in my own mouth. I got bruises and broken bones, but they don't know I ain't in this ring alone. I'm a fighter, no one can say that I'm a running hider. I was born to be do or dyer, I'll make it righter. Don't throw that towel just yet, don't cash in that last bet, 'cause I hit harder when I'm tired. I'm a fighter. I get back up, that's what I do. I didn't soldier on this far just to lose. So take your shot, is that all you got? I'm a fighter, no one can say that I'm a running hider. I was born to be a do-or-dyer, I'll make it righter. Don't throw that towel just yet, don't cash in that last bet, 'cause I hit harder when I'm tired. Yeah, I'm a fighter. Oh, no one can keep me down. They didn't know, but they know now. That I'm a fighter. No one can say that I'm a running hider. Don't cash in that last bet, don't throw that towel just yet. I'm a fighter.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rock.
And happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Before I go on, I want to check, okay, my volume's good. I'm always going to do that from now on because usually I don't check to see if the audio's working. Then I'm talking for like 30 seconds and people are like, I can't hear you. So anyway, guys, welcome Thursday night down here at back in Chinada / Pakistan / Bangladesh, you name it. I already missed Colombia. I only been home back in Canada for about a day, but yeah, I hate coming back when I go to my little quiet place, which is not so quiet, but it's just a fresh breath air, I guess you could say. But anyway, let's start tonight's podcast, guys. We have lots of things. I have lots of videos. I have lots of things to talk about, obviously. Before we start, obviously, we do our shout outs to our common sensors, our truthers, our American family, our Canadian patriots, our pure bloods, our once upon a time pure bloods, and we'll go from there, guys. So first shout out is going out to Denny the Jet Cormier, my brother from a different mother. How you doing, Denny? Judy Hone from Kentucky, Michelle from Ontario, Serge Barnard, my brother from a different mother from Shediac. How you doing, Miss Nancy? Gates, how you doing, Gage? Gilles Bourgeois, Miss Yolanda, who else here? it's all over the place. How you doing, Genevieve from The Rock, Elizabeth, Fred Guerin, Tadaz, Cecile, Miss Carey from Ontario. How you doing, Kirk? Hello from year 6 in exile. Yeah, you're having a tough run at it, huh, buddy? May God bless you anyway for what you've been put up with, I guess, what you've been put through. How you doing, Sean from Oshawa? I miss Brenda Pryor, Mike Boom, Jim Morrison, Sylvia from the island, Kim Abbott from The Rock. How you doing, Joan? Miss Linda from Pennsylvania, Joel Dag, brother from a different mother. How you doing, Michelle Duano? Another good time buddy that played hockey, shared a lot of laughs and good times with while we're playing senior hockey. How you doing, Miss Karen from Indiana? I think I pronounced that right. Sorry. How you doing, Annette Eldon and Miss Eagles, Tony Shepard, Bob and Lori from Grand Falls, Mr. Norman, Nicole Gallant, Joanna from the USA, of course, Brent from North Carolina, who says from hot North Carolina. Here's another one for you, Marcel, for you, Michelle Duano, Marcel, the Tiger Dion, 2 buddies of mine that played hockey with me. Nancy Bouchard, Donna, May, Miss Terry from Arizona, and the list goes on and on and on and on. So anyway, guys, I hope Karen Ross and Terry also. Hope you guys love that intro of Donald Trump. I want to save that for the end because it's kind of sad. It's a good song, but I want to save it for the end. But you know what? What a great time to play that song at the beginning to discuss what this man's been through. And I've been watching some podcasts, and one podcast is someone named he calls himself the Fittest Flat Earther. Great guy, has a lot of good potential. I believe in a lot of his stuff, but the stuff he does come up with sometimes is just hilarious, especially with the him saying his name's Tyler Hansen, if I'm not mistaken. And I get a kick out of it when he says, the Statue of Liberty is really the painting or the statue of Satan, Lucifer, obviously. Back in the 1700s, they had a painting, and it looks like the Statue of Liberty. I give him that. But then it also says it looks like Elvis Presley, and Elvis Presley is really Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is really Satan. And Tyler's a great guy. Used to be, has his own stuff on TikTok and stuff like that. And I just get a kick out of it sometimes with the whole Elvis Presley is Donald Trump, even though the age is crazy difference, and the fact that Donald Trump being Satan. And you know what? And it's like I'm going to say to anybody else that actually believes that Donald Trump is a Zionist, Donald Trump is this, Donald Trump is the Antichrist, Donald Trump. Listen, I'm going to tell you something in common sense, because a lot of people don't have common sense, is the fact that if Donald Trump is deceiving the world, he didn't have to deceive the world. He could have easily taken over what Obama pretty much destroyed and snuck himself in there, right? Untouched, and would have carried out the plan. Now, common sense tells me when the day that he decided he was going to run for president is the day that everybody turned against him. All the celebrities, all the music, everything you can imagine. So common sense, all right, to think that he was the Antichrist would be completely idiotic. Sorry, Tyler, because Tyler does great with the flat earth theory. He's probably the one that convinced me for the flat earth theory. But as for the other stuff, please just give it up as far as I can, as I can tell you. Some things are good, it's for entertainment purposes, but the whole Donald Trump, Elvis Presley thing is just Madonna, is Lisa Marie. Anyway, I just get a kick of it. But the whole point of what I'm trying to say is, if Donald Trump was the Antichrist, like some people like to say on Facebook, listen, as far as when Donald Trump came into power, everything has been revealed from bad to good, from dark to light. And it's because of his doing of why all of this. So if Donald Trump had anything evil plans for us for the future, the COVID, the wars, Donald Trump has never had a war in his term. Everything you can imagine. Well, he put on the Jew hat and he kissed the wall of the weeping, whatever the hell in Israel. Give me a break. there's things of acting, there's things of drip, 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 of him doing things to get a reaction. All right, that's what 5D chess is all about, is doing things and getting a reaction. All right, so just to let you know, it is what it is. But anyway, I know apparently I got a parcel in the mail from one of the subscribers. She's got a shirt for me. I pretty much know what she told me what it was. So when I'm doing a video, I'm going to scoot down there because I totally forgot it's in the mailbox. And we'll go from there. I want to check it out because she said she put it in the mailbox and I just literally arrived from home. So anyway, first things first, guys. I don't know if you guys seen this, but it's New York, New York, New York. You know, speaking of the Statue of Liberty, which of course is a picture of Satan. That, Tyler, I give you 100% props, and I can guarantee the Statue of Liberty has nothing about liberty and freedom, to be honest with you. There is some comparisons with the broken chain on his ankle, like the depicted picture of Satan back in 1786. That I give you credit for, yes. But I don't know if you guys seen this with the New York's new mayor. Take a look at this clown. Zohran Mamdani speaks to Muslims. Now New York's had either Andrew Cuomo, or this clown, all right, this Zohran Mamdani, all right, to pick from, all right. This is the two choices they had to pick from for the mayor, you know, the crooked Cuomo or this Muslim, okay. So the question I ask you is, number one, he wasn't born here. He came in as an immigrant, which there always should be a law. If your parents weren't born in this country, you cannot run for political no matter what. And of course, if you're not even born in this country, you shouldn't run in for politics. That should be a law. And I think they're trying to bring that law into play ASAP, if I'm not mistaken. Just to let you know, I can't remember what the law is called. But again, I say for all around the world, if you're not from here or your parents weren't born in the country, there should be a law. And I'm even saying parents, there should be a law that you're not allowed to run for political office no matter what. All right. So Trump's not happy about it at all. But the question I ask you guys, all right, check this out. This piece of that ran and won for New York, and who cares about New York anyway? It's the city of what do you call it? The city of garbage, I guess you could say, right? It really is. The question I ask you guys: how old do you guys think? All right, how old do you guys think that this new mayor of New York is? Number one, we know that he's an immigrant. Number two, we know that he's a jihad or supports Muslim. But three, how old do you think this new mayor is? You guys will be surprised for this one. Take a guess how old this new mayor is. Anybody find out how old he is? Nope. Danielle said, so I live in upstate, so I care. Yeah, well, you're going to see a lot of problems. So Brent McDowell got it. 33 years old. They love that. What's that 33 represent to everybody? Does anybody remember what that 33 represents? Elizabeth says 27. No, he's 33. That's right, 33. Remember what that is, guys. The 33. They love symbolism. 33, just kind of a coincidence. How does someone turn 33 or be 33 years old and run one of the biggest cities in the entire country of the United States? Kind of find that different. Kind of find that weird, isn't it? 3-3, huh? Masonic, huh? Masonic. Yeah, I think that's kind of weird. So let me erase this so we don't have to see his face again. But this is what Trump had to say. Now it's small for you guys, but I'm going to read it out for you guys. Okay. So Donald Trump says, it's finally happened. The Democrats have crossed the line. This Zohran Mamdani, a 100% communist lunatic, has just won the Democratic primary, is on his way to becoming mayor. We've had radical lefties before, but this is getting a little ridiculous. He looks terrible. His voice is grating. He's not very smart. He's got AOC +3 dummies all backing him. And even our great Palestinian senator, crying Chuck Schumer, is groveling over him. Yes, this is a big moment in history of our country. All right. Then he goes out and says, I have an ideal for the Democrats to bring them back into play. After years of being left out in the cold, including suffering one of the greatest losses in history, the 2024 presidential election, the Democrats should nominate low IQ candidate Jasmine Crockett for president, and AOC +3 should be respectively the vice president, and 3 high-level members of the cabinet added together with our future communist mayor of New York. As you can see, Donald Trump is not having it. So you're going to see bits and pieces of Donald Trump really giving it to this jihad that should not be into politics at all. But of course, that's the whole point, guys. That is the whole point. It's always been planned. The Muslims are taking over the world. If it wasn't for Donald Trump, anyway, it's not going to happen. But they're going to try. But it's great to see exposure. All right, that's what I love about it. It's great to see exposure. But we all know New York. We all know California. We all know Chicago. Illinois. We all know those states are the biggest blue radical states in the country. So it doesn't really matter who they pick. What I tend to believe, and watch this, calm down. I believe this is happening for one reason only. Okay, common sense is, I guarantee with Gavin Newsom, with the whole thing that happened in LA, and with the blue state of New York, with this communist POS, I guaranteed this, like Canada, the people are going to switch it around. They're going to turn it from a democratic state into a Republican state, but it's because they can't put up with it. Okay, just like what Gavin Newsom has done in California. They're pretty much are turning into a Democratic to a Republican state. And I guarantee that's what's happening in Canada, is what's been happening with the Liberal Party. It's just a matter of time. They literally are exposing the amount of corruption in Canada, so that Canada drip, 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 right? Flood. And I do believe this is what they're doing, is going to expose all the corruption in New York, all the corruption in California. And the only way to do that, guys, I'm going to show you right here. The only way, because this is a perfect example on how to do it. Okay. The only way to expose is right here. Before you can unite America, you must first expose those who have secretly been trying to destroy it. Godspeed, Mr. President. And that's what I believe in it. This is actually a great saying for Canada too. Before you can unite Canada, you must first expose those who have been secretly been trying to destroy it. So I think that's a great line, a great analogy to pretty much expose everything. You know, the swamp, drain the swamp. All right. So I do believe that's what's happening, because it seems like New York was never going to change. All right. So now they're going to get what they voted for. Obviously, Donald Trump is going to make sure it doesn't get out of hand. And I do believe what's happening in California. Look what Donald Trump did. So it didn't get out of hand. And I do believe it's going to switch around and turn around very fast. I do believe this person is not going to hold his 4 years term or whatever they do in the United States for it. That is my prediction. All right, because there's no way. But it's going to be great to see. But the thing is, it's also, I hope to God it actually causes sort of like a civil war. All right, it's going to expose what the Muslims have been secretly been trying to do in Canada. Well, actually in the world, what they're doing in UK, what they're doing in Australia, all the Commonwealth countries, including the United States. We all know, people's been following me. We all know what the Muslims' plans have always been for the last 20 odd years. We know what the main plan is for 2035. We also know what the main plan is for 2050. All right. They're doing it, and they're doing it with the help of the Soros, with the elites, the cabal, and all those. So we'll leave it to that. But I love it. I really do love it. of what's happening. I don't mind it at all. It's great for exposure, but it's actually, when is this world going to just literally stop and be peaceful? And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, is we are literally in a war. We've been in a war since 2017, since Trump has been elected. It's been the Armageddon of the wars, the war to end all wars. This is the spiritual war, the financial war, the information war. It is the war to stop everything that's been happening in 1,000 years. Someone said it was 2,000 years for for the whole God descended, the Satan. And you said you have so many years to turn the world against me. Someone said 2,000. I believe it was 1,000. Either way, we'll go with it was many years. But I know God is on this earth as we speak now. We also know the devil is on this earth right now. And sorry, Tyler Hansen, the fittest flat earther, Donald Trump is not Satan. I hope you're making a lot of money off of people subscribing. I love you, dude, but it's not happening. Sorry. All right. So first things first, let's share a video. I'm going to bring a video because you gotta love, and I'm going to keep it American for now, and then I'm going to switch over to Canada. But this is what the New York mayor, for the person that said she was in New York right now. If you want to see some really freaky stuff, check out this new mayor's platform. Check this out.
But some of his other positions are like straight out of the Democrats never want to do this again playbook, such as defund the police, abolish the prison system, prohibit state-operated hospitals for suing for medical debt, universal health care, ban all guns, decriminalize sex work, safe injection sites. We saw how those ruined San Francisco, end cash bail, decriminalize drug possession, and end cooperation with ICE right after Eric Adams has started to increase it. I mean, these are positions that any Democrat would look at and say, that's why we lost in November of last year. Let's not do that again.
Yeah. As much as I like to say defund the police, more like defund the RCMP, but defund the police sounds like a great plan, but in New York, it's not so much of a great plan. Trust me, I'm not the best person with the whole. It's the only thing I disagree with Donald Trump is the policing. I think there's just as much corrupted police in the world as there is good police, to be honest with you, especially with the RCMP here in Canada. But anyway, defund the police, decriminalize sexual work. What else did he say? Something about the jail systems, no cash for bail. Decriminalize the drug use. Like, this guy is complete, literally, if you can't see those steps, that common sense, and you don't even need a lot of common sense to see what he's trying to do, that is literally going to destroy New York in a heartbeat. So I hope, again, I just said, it's just literally exactly the same playbook as the Liberals here in Canada. It's the exact same playbook around the world. All right. They're doing the exact same playbook that has been sent to them by the cabal. All right. But it's just pretty funny because there's no way he won. That's number one. That's a guarantee. There's no way he won, even though no one liked Andrew Cuomo. There's still no one that voted for this piece of shit except, his kind and that kind is the Muslims. So if he got voted in, that could only mean one thing. One, it was cheated, or two, there's more Muslims than there are regular people in the New York region. Either way, I just call it exposure, and that's what it is, exposure. I love it. And speaking of exposure and stuff like that, you got to love our president when he does something like this, because you know what? Finally, he can speak the mind, speak like a normal person and not try to act like a politician. Check this out, what he says here in this interview.
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Are you questioning if Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. When I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Now, that wasn't funny. I don't know what is. At first, I thought it was AI. I really did. I thought it was AI because I never heard him swear once. The guy's never drank, never swears. That's probably the first time that I've heard Donald Trump swear. But it was excellent. I think after that, I think his popularity just went through the roof. To be honest with you, I think his popularity is going to go through the roof if the people that hated him before are definitely going to love him now, because finally he can speak what's on his mind. And speaking of immigrants, and I guess you could say the narrative and what's happening around the world, and it's happening on purpose. Check out this festival that's happening in France, in Paris, France. All right. I want you guys to watch the video. All right. So apparently there's someone or people going around jabbing people with needles. All right. So jabbing with needles. And now we all know these needles could be HIV infected. All right. Obviously, it wouldn't surprise me. But of course, it's done by immigrants. But I want you to take a good look at this video. All right. And analyze one thing in the video besides the people running, because this is in France, Paris, France. Take a look at the video. All right. I want you guys to see how good you are, because this is how, when I see stuff like this, one thing that pops up to mind, because I analyze everything in life. I want you to see the video. So get your eyes out, get your brains going. It's only 16. No, it was 146, Irene. I want you guys to see with your eyes, what's the first thing that pops up in your mind when you see this video? All right. It's only 16 seconds long. Here we go. Did you guys have long enough to see that? Did you guys? What's the first thing that pops in your mind when you see that video for 16 seconds of someone that was going around poking people with a syringe? We didn't see the person going around poking with the syringe. I don't see that stuff when I analyze videos. But what do you guys see? All right. Delinquents, all black people. Jennifer says smoke. So you're not in tune. All younger people with smoke? Nope. Paid actors? Nope. Not many white people. So I guess only a couple are in tune. Yeah, that's right. I'll show you again for the people that are not in tune. Take a very good look at the 16 seconds. Because if the first thing that doesn't come to your mind, all right, if the first thing that does come into your mind, this is Paris, not Africa. Paris. I've said it 3-4 times. Check it again. So if you guys didn't notice, I did, because I played it over and over again. Among all those people in Paris, there was only 2 white people in that whole crowd. All right. In Paris. Paris is already a crap hole to begin with. All right. I would never go to Paris. Even 5 years ago, it was a crap hole. All right. But they're literally flooding the world with migrants from Africa, Nigeria, well, the whole continent of Africa, Nigeria, you name it. They're flooding them all over the place. All right. UK is unbelievable. London, Britain, you name it. They're flooding it with these black Africans. All right. And if you watch that video and your first instinct was, oh my God, look at all the black people in Paris, then all the thumbs up to those people that actually seen that. You guys are well awake. All right. Not the smoke, not this or not that, not the fireworks. the ideal that it's being invaded. Well, it's the same thing is happening here in Canada, especially typically in New Brunswick. We are getting invaded by Africans. I went to the DMV today, guys, to put some plates on my Cadillac that I bought. All right. I stayed there for 5 hours. 5 hours. And I called the girlfriend. She said, "You're taking long." I said, "Yeah." I said, "There's about 60 people sitting right now waiting in the line." 60. All right. And I said 50 were Africans. There was probably 6 Pakistans, because it wasn't Pakistan Day, and then 4 white people. All right. And then after people start coming in, and it was, again, Africans. They are literally loading up the whole place with Africans and East Indians. And that's not a racist thing to say, because I seen my numbers drop again, and I just wish I could find who was dropping so I can delete and block those people. It is the definition and the narrative of what they're doing around the world, because these people they're bringing in, you cannot imagine. If you think New York are bad for the ghettos, and LA for the gangs, and places like Chicago for the gangs, and all across the country from gangs, those people came from Africa. And that's why that's why United States is a big shithole, is because of this. And it's happening. Go to Canada, go to the slums in Ontario, Jane and Finch, and down central Ontario and then go to Scarborough also and see for yourself, for the people that live down there. It's literally planned. All right, I guess is the best word to say, planned. These people are not growing up to be doctors and lawyers and police officers and, good people for society, we'll just say. So, if you've seen that was your first instinct, top it off. Great for you guys. You guys keep it up when it comes to stuff like that, for being well awake. So speaking of well awake, I think this is for the my American patriots. We just got a new health minister. All right, check this out. So to our American family, we just got a new health minister, and I'm going to show you, to the American side that don't know what's going on in Canada. Take a look at our new health minister to our American family. That's right. I'm not going to try to pronounce her name, because obviously you could tell for yourself it's definitely not a Canadian name. But her new salary is $296,000. That's right. She's an engineer in chemical. So a chemical engineer is now advising Canadians and doctors on health as top doctor, but isn't a doctor. She has no MD, no PhD, and no health degree. And as you could pretty much see, that is definitely, if she's a female, that's one tough dude, one tough female. Let's just put it that way. All right. And if you don't know who this person is, all right, I got a video for you. Check this out, guys. This is a video of our new Canada's Health new Oink Oink. And check it out for yourself. You're going to be disgusted on the way she speaks. And if you think Justin Trudeau had a lot of ums when he spoke, not as quite as often as this dum-dum. Check this out.
Survey at this point in time. How many people have heard the sentence, Canada's climate has changed at twice the rate, the global rate, 3 times in the north? How many people have heard that? So typically, and this is a typical audience, about 90% of people have heard that sentence that has come from Canada's Changing Climate Report, but that's an indicator of the extent to which others have deemed that to be the truth. Earlier, we were someone was asking me, do you face skeptics in your role? And we do. So, despite the fact that we find 90% on average of people believing that and having the confidence in the science, there's not quite 90%, but a significant proportion of Canadians and global citizens who do not believe that and inform us of that view based on the number of dockets I sign off in a day indicating otherwise. So part of our responsibility, I think, in terms of the context in which we operate and live is making sure that we communicate as at every possible opportunity what the facts are, and engaging with people that we don't necessarily aren't our normal interlocutors in order to be able to move forward effectively on the issue. So I guess those would be some of the reflections on the issue.
That was so painful. You couldn't pay me $100,000 to send the audience to watch that. All right, for one thing. And the funny thing is, guys, is her resume is all on climate change. And I've showed that on my Facebook wall. If you want to see her, now I'm sounding like her. That's just a joke, by the way. Check out her resume. It's just climate change. It's disgusting. And well, just like transgender Tam, obviously, right? It just exposure. I just do not get it, how dumb people really are. It's despicable. It really is. I really don't even care no more, to be honest with you. So I love comedy, and this is as much comedy as we're going to get at this time. So speaking of comedy, let's do a couple more things because I see the time is coming up pretty fast. Speaking of, I love it when I speak about immigrants, right? Because then my numbers go from here and then they slightly go down by 10 or 15 because you always got those liberal twats, you know, they sneak in once in a while to watch. And then all of a sudden when you talk about immigrants and, oh my God, I can't believe he's talking about immigrants. It's diversity is our strength. We need these immigrants. And I hope to God, I really do hope to God that these people have taken their vaccinations and have taken, you know, their boosters at the same time. So, you know, soon they'll be, you know, they'll end up, you know, with a blood clot and half their brain will melt and they won't be able to vote. That's my hope for these elbows up crew. But check this out about the disgusting things that's been happening with these East Indians. You know, I wonder why they've been driving around with new cars and buying up things. Well, this is why, guys. And it's been happening a lot in Canada. I've said it. When you bring in these people, you bring in crime, you bring in poverty, and you bring in literally to crash. All right. Literally to crash the whole health system, education system, and the welfare system. And here's why. Check this out. I don't think you guys seen this. But anyway, this is the capture that they just did at the border. A Brampton man, guys, charged after more than 23 million worth of cocaine seized at the border crossing. A Brampton man is facing charges after 187 kilos of cocaine was found hidden inside a commercial truck arriving from the United States at Sarnia's Blue Water Bridge border crossing. That's right, guys. As soon as they said Brampton man, oh wow, we pretty much know when they said Brampton man, we, you know, obviously we start going ding, 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 ding. I wonder what that could be. Well, let's go with number 2. So anyway, let's do it again. Brampton man. So the safety and security of Canadian is our government's top priority. This seizure demonstrates the crucial role that the Border Patrol and the RCMP play in stopping illicit contraband from entering our communities. This was outstanding work by officers and the public safety. All right. It also, this later seizure is the 4th significant cocaine seizure at the Blue Water Bridge crossing so far this year. That's right. They've captured over 978 kilos of cocaine in this past year. All right, 978 kilos. But here's the kicker for the people that don't, you know, oh my God, how could he literally say that Brampton man, and how can he associate himself by saying that it could be these people? Well, what do you guys think? What do you think it is? Who do you think it could be? Could it be this? Oh, Karamveer Singh, 27, if that's how you pronounce his name. Karamveer Singh. So obviously it's the Sing Sing crew, the flip-flop crew, the crew that arrive in a container, and the next day they're driving the container of 27 at Brampton. All right, just so you see. All right. So, yep, like I predicted, as soon as I seen Brampton man, cocaine, Brampton, truck driver, I knew right away. What really surprises me is they actually put his name, because usually they don't put their name because they know if you put their name, then it gets the real Canadian people pissed off, because we all know that immigrants are, especially, I'm not going to say all immigrants, but I'd say 99% of immigrants coming in from India, Africa, even though Africa is the most laziest race that there is in the entire world. I don't care if anyone tries to debate with me on that. That is a complete true fact. Look it up. But also with the Sing Sing, if it's not phone scams, it's definitely PayPal scams, but drugs, you name it. All right. So anyway, that's what it is. Like Daly says, trucked in a turban suburban. That's a good slogan for that one. But you're going to see a lot of this. And I warned everybody, and I told everybody last year that bringing these East Indians and how they're buying up all this stuff and all this Canadian stuff is one way, scamming, not because they work hard, scamming and drugs. It's the only thing that most of these people know how to do. Scamming is their number one priority, especially when it comes to internet. They're the smartest people when it comes to internet for scamming. Anyway, they send their money home, our money, and contribute a little bit to our. Yeah, of course, they send all their money that they make down here to their home, which takes away from our country because then we have to print out more money, right? Which I don't know if people know what inflation is. I bet you 90% of people don't know what inflation is all about. So anyway, we'll just leave it there. Why did they not let him through, follow him, and get the rest of the gang? Well, believe it or not, Frank, that's a good question. But they did do it. There was I had something here that the RCMP did do what you just said and nailed a gang of them that they've been doing, just to let you know. And they captured, I don't know, about 30 something members of this trucking gang that's been doing this, just to let you know. So you're right on the money there, Frank. As a person with common sense, if I was in the RCMP, this is what I would do. Oh, guys, look at that. We got some drugs. Let's tag this. Let's follow it. And let's get to the main guys. They've done that. Why didn't do it to this person? Good question. But either way, they linked that same truck to a bunch of trucks that's running all of this. And of course, it's by the flip-flop crew, the Turban Suburbans. And that's what's been happening throughout Canada. That's why you see all these camel jockeys literally driving all these brand new cars. All right. Because the whole point of bringing in all this cocaine is they're literally destabilizing is the word I was trying to remember about. I always forget the word destabilize the economy. Is literally to cripple the Canadian people. These people don't do drugs. All right. These people don't do drugs. It's money to own, and put us as slaves. That's the number one priority to the Muslim people. That's why they don't do things like pork and party and drink and listen to music. These people are determined to take over the world. All right. These people are determined for one reason and one reason only. And it's not for the white people to be their slaves. It's not the white people for them to be the slaves of the white people. Let's just put it that way. It's the other way around. And they're doing a pretty darn good job of it, guys, because I'm going to tell you, you walk into your local Walmart now, and most of the management are all Turban Suburbans. You know what I mean? The push start Indians, and it's really bad in Ontario. You couldn't pay me to move to Toronto, number one. Number two, I was bringing my son to Niagara Falls this summer. We changed plans ever since I've seen a few videos of what Niagara Falls looks like. That's not happening. If I want to go to India or Pakistan or Bangladesh, I would just take a flight there, which would never happen. But if you want to see Bangladesh in Canada, just go to Niagara Falls. Just to let you know, it's pretty much sees a lot. Everything you can see in Bangladesh is in Niagara Falls. Speaking of that, check this out, because we got 15 minutes left, and 15 minutes goes damn pretty fast. But I want you guys to hear, all right? I want you guys to hear. It's a clip. It's 23 seconds long. 23 seconds long. I want you guys to hear Donald Trump in this at the G7. I'm not going to tell you the answer, but I want you guys to hear what he says. And if the people don't think that this is a movie being played out, check it out. I want you to hear it, though. So get ready. Put your volumes up. 23 seconds. Here's what Donald Trump said a couple days ago at the G7.
Coming in, I saw the most beautiful trees. In fact, I want to bring some back with me. I want to also thank, I had breakfast this morning with the King and Queen, and they're incredible people. I said, your central casting, beautiful people, great people, big, beautiful heart. and I enjoyed that. And
Did you guys hear it? King and Queen? Let's see if you guys are going to look for the comments to see what you guys said. 23 seconds. He said something in there that should have caught your ears. What did it catch that you guys heard? I'm pretty sure you all heard it. But let's just see. Anybody hear it? Mo heard it. Anybody? Nancy, did you hear it? Elizabeth heard it. Cecile heard it. Nancy, yeah, Nancy heard it. Vincent heard it. Yeah, Tori heard it. So pretty much all you guys heard it. Central Casting, the King and Queen, right? Like we've said it, and I've been saying it from 2020. All right, Central Casting, Central Casting. All right, I'm going to say something, and I don't want you guys, some of you guys, to get insulted or anything like that, because I want to start off the show tonight by talking about it. Now, there's this podcaster that goes by the name Big Daddy. I think it's called Big Daddy. He calls himself Big Daddy. Now, he's an old school guy like myself, older. I think he goes by Big Daddy. I'm pretty sure. I thought I had a picture of him. I guess I don't. So people will send me some stuff because of Big Daddy, and they said, what do you think? And to me is, what do you mean, what do I think? Well, is this true? And I'm like, what do you mean, is this true? I've been talking about what this Big Daddy's been just literally came out of the toilet to say. I've been talking about the same thing 4 years ago. Well, I never heard it. Why is Big Daddy saying that Canada is the official? It's been announced, or it's official, that Canada has been the 51st state. I'm like, really? He just announced that? And I've been announcing that since when? When did I announce that, guys? For the viewers that follow me, when did I announce that we were the 51st state of the United States? All right. So like, yeah, all of you guys are following. Yes. All right. Anybody? I've been saying this since what, guys? The beginning of January, right? They've been saying we were the 51st state since January. Did I lie? And then Big Daddy comes out and says it in June. I said we were taken over in 2020, but I said we were official in December, early January. So as for the stuff with the 51st state, Big Daddy's not going to teach me something. Good for him to spread some kind of truth. But also, Big Daddy also said this. He said that, check this out. Big Daddy went out and said, oh, during this war between Iran and Israel, what the United States is going to do is, okay, for the people that follow him, is demonic sites like the Gettysburg Museum, like the Hoover Dam, something in Denver. Anyway, he said that the United States is going to use the rods of God to destroy these demonic sites on purpose to blame Iran. All right? To blame Iran. If you guys, some of you sent me the video. All right? And I'm like, what the F is he talking about? Using the rods of God to destroy things in the United States, and that's going to set the United States to get pissed off and blame Iran, that Iran did it? Dude, you better start taking your heart blood pressure pills or take your medication, because that is not the case. Common sense, which sometimes you have common sense, because I don't watch your videos. I only, when people send me, what do you think about what this Big Daddy says? I usually take a listen, and I just, 5 minutes, I shake my head. All right. Number one is the rods of God were used in the United States for a couple things. Do you guys remember what two things so far that we know, that I reported already, that the rods of God, all right, have destroyed in the United States? And they're not going to be destroying no Hoover Dam. They're not going to be destroying no Gettysburg's museum. I don't know why I keep on saying computer. All right. It's literally, he's off to left field. Now, the difference between me and him, why he has a lot of followers, is different. I use StreamYard because I show you guys evidence, and I show you pictures, and I show you videos. He does the whole Facebook thing live. This is the problem, guys. I get less viewers when I do StreamYard because Facebook blocks me a lot. If I do my lives that I do now with you guys straight on Facebook, I get 20, 30,000 views. All right. 20, 30,000 views. But the problem is you guys are just going to hear me talk for the full hour. You're not going to see videos. You're not going to see pictures. You're not going to see none of that. You're just going to hear me talk like an old lady at bingo, like Big Daddy. But the thing is I'll get a lot more views. I'll get like 30, 40,000 views. All right. But I like to back my stuff up with videos and pictures. And in that case, when I use StreamYard, I'm less viewed on Facebook. You understand? So I do this for you guys. I pay for the, I don't pay for it. Actually, I'd like to thank Dupree Towan once again, Andre, for sponsoring the show for another 6 months because it costs me $100. I don't get monetized like Big Daddy's trying to do and like Moon Henry and like the other people on the podcast that sell fear. I don't do that. I just bring common sense. But can you imagine? Let's take Big Daddy's comment. Can you imagine what would happen if Donald Trump would use the rods of God to destroy certain things in the United States and blame Iran? Do you know what kind of chaos it would start in the United States? It would be so much chaos. Now, I know personally 2 things that were destroyed by the rods of God. And do you guys know in the United States? Do you guys know 2 things? 2 things. I want to see if you guys remember. All right. 2 things in the United States that were somehow destroyed by lightning. I guess that will give you. I'll give you the little. I'll give you the hint. Were destroyed by lightning. Do you guys recall 2 things in the United States that were destroyed by lightning? Something that was built in the beginning of the 80s. All right. Anybody? From the 80s, beginning of the 80s. No one knows how it was built. No one knows who paid for it, but they were destroyed for some reason by lightning. There you go. Elizabeth got one. The Georgia Guidestones. For the people that don't know what the Georgia Guidestones is, look it up. All right. The Georgia Guidestones was one thing that was destroyed by the rods of God. Number 2, anybody? Anybody remember that? No, Lahaina was not destroyed by the rods of God. Number 2, I'll give you a hint. The hint was, I can't breathe. You remember that whole May 2020, I can't breathe? We'll give you that hint. I can't breathe. Of May 2020, the end of May 2020, I can't breathe. That's your second hint. That was the second thing that I know personally that the rods of God had destroyed. And it was a mural. It was a wall made for the I can't breathe person. Do you guys remember? George Floyd. Thank you, Pam. Remember? Some lightning strike all of a sudden broke this big mural of the I can't breathe fentanyl criminal George Floyd. Exactly. And it didn't hurt anybody. No one was hurt and no one really cared. So I don't know where Big Daddy is getting his information. I know it's definitely not him because it looks like he's living in an RV, but he gets a lot of people watching him. And unfortunately, a lot of people send me messages about Big Daddy saying, is this true? Is this true? This true? Listen, if you want the truth, watch my Facebook. If I don't have the truth, I won't talk about it. But if I have what I have, I'll share it with you guys. And I can guarantee you, it's not going to be, I'm not going to be learning from Big Diddy, Big Daddy, whatever his name is. And I'm sorry, I don't follow other podcasters because they sell fear and I just can't watch fear, to be honest with you. All right. So check this out. Speaking of pictures, I want you guys to analyze this photo. All right. Vincent said, I never heard about the mural. Check out the George Floyd mural that was destroyed by lightning. You'll laugh about that. All right. Check this out. I want you guys, no problem, Kirk. Thanks for helping try to get my story out, Jeff. Freedom, anytime. I'll probably bring you back on, Kirk, to see how you've been doing for that. You just got to give me time. All right. Check this out, guys. Check this out. I'm going to show you a photo. And I think everyone should know this photo. Anybody that's over 30 years old, I think everyone that follows me is 30 years old and older. But everybody remembers John Ramsey Benet. Remember that little girl that went missing? Everybody remember her? John Benet, I think that's her name. You guys give me a thumbs up. Is that her name? John Ray Benet, the little girl that went missing a long time ago. Okay, back in the 90s. Now, don't crap on me if I'm not saying her name right. But I know she went missing. No one seems to know where they were. They thought her parents were involved. I even watched a Netflix series about it. But anyway, did I get it right, Curly? All right. I'm going to show you a photo of her. All right. Now I want you guys to analyze the photo. All right. John Benet. All right. So check out the photo. I want you guys to pull out. There we go. John Benet Ramsey. Thank you, Elizabeth. John Benet Ramsey. So I want you guys to check out the photo and you play detective. 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 What do you guys think? All right. Let's be a detective here. And what do you guys think? Anybody? Yeah, they're saying that she's really Katy Perry is what I think the fittest flat earther was calling her. This is Katy Perry, to be honest with you. So, interesting who was in this photo. I think Debbie's seen it. Debbie's seen it. I think Debbie pulled out. Yeah, anybody? Anybody take a good picture? You guys are not seeing it, huh? Anybody? Epstein's girlfriend, Maxwell on the side. Yeah, Ghislaine on the side. Yeah, you guys are seeing it now, right? I remember that photo. That's right. Ghislaine Maxwell right there on the left-hand side. All right, just to let you know. Epstein's there. Yep. So, see her? I thought you guys would like that. I thought you guys would like that one. You guys were definitely on the par. And speaking of on par, I want you guys to see another photo. If you don't think The Rock is part of the crew, well, this is The Rock's first wife. What do you guys see about that photo for The Rock's first wife? If you guys don't think The Rock didn't make it to certain levels being a movie star, Rock had to do something, right? What did Rock have to do besides being a pedophile? I wonder what that is, huh, Rock? Being his first wife. What do you guys think that is? Huh? Jesus. Rock. What do you think about Rock's first wife, guys? I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think Aerosmith has a song about that, right? Dude looks like a lady. Huh? Handsome wife. That's a good one. Handsome wife. I like that one. Yeah. That's why Rock has been doing a lot of movies, guys. Rock's been in the pedo group, but Rock's been also doing the old worshiping of Baphomet and stuff like that, right? So don't think The Rock is there where he is because The Rock is, a great movie star, just to let you know. Rock is there because Rock is following the rules. And I've already heard someone talk about going into a party and The Rock was there and they didn't want to go they went into this room that they were told to go in the room and The Rock was in the same room and they were told to do something and The Rock, the person that went in the room turned around and walked out, but The Rock stayed. And we won't say what happened in the room, but the person that went in it, Eddie Murphy. All right. That's why Eddie Murphy, we didn't get to see Eddie Murphy for a while because Eddie Murphy didn't want to be part of the club. So that's why Eddie Murphy's reputation in his movie career stopped because Eddie Murphy didn't want to join that crew. But Eddie Murphy came out with a video talking about how he was invited at a Diddy party and The Rock was there and they were put in a room. Anyway, Eddie Murphy didn't know what the party was, but he had a bad feeling, seen a couple stuff, turned away, walked around, and never got any kind of movie deals or anyone to work with him whatsoever. But anyway, that was it for Eddie Murphy's career, which I thought it was kind of weird because Eddie Murphy was was doing really good, and then all of a sudden fell off the earth. So last video, 36 seconds for the people that don't think things are happening with RFK. Check this out.
So a groundbreaking new law was just announced today in the state of Texas that will ban thousands of processed foods or label them unfit for human consumption. These are just 4 of thousands that are being either banned or must be labeled unfit for human consumption. Watch this video to the end to find out what other foods are banned, and visit the link in my bio so that you can join the fight to do something about this.
That's right, guys. Just a matter of time for RFK getting rid of all this stuff. Again, it is what it is. It's going to get worse before it gets better. We went through the worst. It's going to get better. Unfortunately for us Canadians, we're still in the process. But either way, it will get better. I love you guys all. Thank you again for watching tonight's podcast. Now, I've got good news and I got bad news. I'm going to give it to you both. Good news and bad news, because we are officially summer. The bad news is I'm only going to be able to do one podcast a week, and that's only going to be on Monday nights, guys. Monday nights are going to be the only nights I do podcasts. I don't spend my summer Mondays and Thursdays doing this. But the good news is the fact that I won't be doing long podcasts on Thursdays, but what I'll be doing is short podcasts on Facebook Live here and there. I'll always do my Monday nights for you guys. Monday nights, always on StreamYard, showing you videos. But anything emergency or something you guys need to know, I will do, but on a Facebook Live. That way I can stretch it out to everybody and get more viewers, I guess you could say, like Daddy does, Big Daddy. But the main StreamYard and all that big stuff with all the videos is only going to be Monday nights. Besides that, because every summer I only do one podcast a week. I'm sorry, it is what it is. My son comes home with me tomorrow, and hopefully here to stay for life. But either way, our summer is usually Thursday. We're gone, but that doesn't mean I'll always give you guys a heads up. I'll always give you guys a heads up if I'm going to come on Thursday, and that could be for one reason only, is something to talk about that's important. But either way, I want to thank Dupree Towen, Andre, for sponsoring the show for another 6 months where I don't have to take $100 out of my pocket to bring you guys information. Unlike the others that make a living off of fear porn, I don't. So big thanks going out to Andre Dupree, which I'm going to put his banner out there. You guys can throw out a big shout out to Andre with Dupree Towen in New Brunswick, who is a great fellow to be sponsoring. I think 3 years in a row now. Well, a year and a half. About a year and a half now for me not having to pay money out of my own pocket to spend time showing you guys the truth. So it's, again, shout out going to Andre, who messaged me today and say, hey, I'm sponsoring the show once again for 6 months, because I did it for 3 years, taking money out of my pocket to do these shows. And I literally told everybody a while back ago that I'm not going to sponsor the show. I'm taking money out of my own pocket because it drains me. It takes a lot of my time, a lot of my energy. My eyes are literally hurting from a lot of research that I do to bring you guys the truth, and to do work, coach, spend time with my son, camping, anything we do takes a lot of my time. So shout out going to Andre once again for the next 6 months. You guys will still be getting lives for the next 6 months. As long as I don't have to pay for this, you guys are completely fine. I love you guys all. So tonight I will give a little bing bang music, heart pumping music, because it's Thursday. I love Thursdays. The weekends are here, even though I just came back from Colombia and it's a Thursday night every night there. I love you guys all. We'll see you guys back Monday. Have a great weekend. And to my Colombian family, thank you once again for a great week. I love you guys all. And like Don Cherry says, you people hold that line, and we'll see you guys back Monday. Adios, amigos.
swimming.